it looks like Volkswagen's figured out the recipe to success. All you gotta do, all you gotta do is make your cars look like they're Korean. Yeah, so for 2025, we get this more pronounced design, don't we? More expressive, a little bit funky, unusual, you could say, especially with these headlights. Like, look at this. Yeah, we get this unique, I don't know, we've never even seen a design like this from Volkswagen, have we? So it is, I guess it is kind of cool. It does add some visual interest. And of course, the front end is really dominated by this two-tier design. You know, you got the silver trim there, but then, you know, actually that's inside of this blacked out area as well. And actually I like how it kind of hides these air curtain channels in the side of the bumper. It's actually the opposite of what Audi's been doing, where they've been kind of highlighting that. So you might not have even noticed that. You know, there's nothing wrong with the current Taos, but it was, you know, there's nothing desirable about it, was there? So yeah, this is actually, this, you know, hey, you know, like I said, the Koreans, they've had a lot of success with these kind of funky, unusual designs. And it's not just about styling. I mean, this is a functional design as well, because there is a larger intercooler back there behind the grille. We'll talk about why that is. Yeah, we'll talk about why that is here in a second. From the side, you know, this is just a facelift, so it pretty much looks the same, although you will have some new wheels. You will have some new wheels, and there's some new colors. Obviously, this green color is new. There's going to be a new blue and a new gray as well. And then the taillights get the latest updates with the light bar that goes all the way across. And yeah, this actually looks, this is a huge improvement. I don't think you can argue that either way. You know, the current Taos, it does just look kind of old and outdated. This is going to look fantastic, especially, you know, yeah, at night. So, you know, while the exterior, I think they probably made all the right changes to the exterior. The interior might be more subjective, because we get a new dashboard with this new iPad style screen. And what's interesting about this is a lot of people don't really like the iPad style. They kind of prefer the screen to be more integrated like it was. This is the current model, or the older model. So yeah, you can see it right there. It kind of just sticks up, juts out past the dashboard. And you might say, well, you know, hey, if we get a new screen, you know, if it's larger, if it's faster, you know, if they have to change it up, then so be it. But what's crazy about this is it's the same screen. You can see that. It's the same screen. So, and in fact, you know, now this is quite, this screen looks quite old in a 2025 model, doesn't it? I mean, pretty much everybody else is giving you bigger screens. So, I don't know. That's kind of, to make this change and then not actually make a new screen is just bizarre. And, you know, so, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that. They did the same thing in the Jetta too, by the way. So the only cool thing about this new design is this silver trim that connects to the air vent, it actually runs kind of like behind the screen there. So that is kind of a cool little detail. Now the other change that you might like and you might not like down here. Yeah, the new Climatronic controls. These are, of course, the touch sensitive. You got to swipe, you know, you got to swipe left or right. There's no knob. There's no knob or knobs. You just got to tap and swipe. But one thing that's for sure an improvement on the interior is there's more sound deadening. So it will be quieter, you know, it will have a more refined, expensive ride to it. You know what I mean? And another thing that's a for sure improvement, for sure, is the powertrain, the performance. So not only do we get more power, you know, we actually get, it's 174 horsepower now, and the old model was only 158. And it's basically the same engine. It's still that 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, But as we talked about before, they've made some actual physical hardware changes to it to basically improve the turbo's performance, including, yes, that new intercooler. There's new piston rings. The housing on the turbo is different. The new fuel injectors, they went through this. It's not just them, trying to squeeze out a little bit more power. No, they actually made the right physical changes to it. So it's still going to be reliable. Maybe, it might even be more robust than the old model and give you more power. And then the big news is really probably the biggest news is they dropped the dual clutch transmission, which for whatever reason, it didn't work too well in this vehicle, even though Volkswagen, they have a lot of good dual clutch transmissions. Whatever reason, the one that was in the Taos wasn't good. So it's all the 8-speed automatic now. If you get front wheel drive, you used to always get the 8-speed automatic. But now, even if you get the 4Motion all-wheel drive, you also get the 8-speed automatic. So, and then, either way too, you get all those other upgrades with the more power. So this is actually, this thing should drive much better, right? I mean, more power, a better transmission, quieter inside, more refined. It looks better. It looks, like a modern 2025 vehicle. Really, I think, this is probably the biggest disappointment is just the lack of, there should be like a 10-inch or 11-inch screen in this thing, But I don't know. At the same time, I don't want to complain too much because there's a lot of cars putting in screens that are just way too big, too. I think 10, 11 inches is perfect. But, would you rather have an 8-inch display like this than some huge, like laptop mounted on your dashboard? You're gonna feel like you're sitting in your cubicle at work every time you get in your car. I don't know. I guess, there's an argument that maybe this size is actually perfect.